And culture news now. And 100 years ago, a group of artists and writers launched what would become one of the most important art movements of the 20th century, Dadaism. To celebrate, a museum right here in Israel has put on a large-scale exhibition featuring 12 contemporary Israeli artists. Maya Margit takes a look.
It was a revolution in art. 100 years ago, in a small nightclub in Zurich, a group of artists and writers founded the Cabaret Voltaire, launching what would become known as Dada. Horrified by the violence of World War I, the Dadaists rejected rationality and logic, which they believed had led to the war, and embraced chaos and anarchy. Marcel Janco, a Romanian-born Jewish artist, helped found Dadaism. In 1941, amid escalating anti-Semitism in the East European country, Janco immigrated to Israel. To mark the 100th anniversary of the movement that is considered to be one of the most decisive influences on modern art, museums across the world are hosting exhibitions. In Israel, the Janco-Dada Museum in the artist's village of Ein Hod is marking the centennial with an exhibition featuring 12 contemporary Israeli artists.
From Dada onwards, all art changed. Even if we look at the revolutions in art that Picasso and Matisse brought about, those mainly affected painting. But when Dada arrived, artists viewed everything in life as being connected to art.
The exhibition in Ein Hod showcases the artistic techniques which were coined by the Dadaists, including photomontage, collage, assemblage, and ready-mades. In Shoni Rivne's installation titled Gravity, missiles embellished with drawings are suspended from the ceiling alongside decorative-looking broken wall pieces.
This work is very beautiful and colorful. If you examine it more closely, it raises questions. What is suspended here? Missiles which are pointing directly at the viewer, and surrounding these missiles is what remains after they hit.
The video behind Rivne's work shows the artist walking through the streets of Tel Aviv, carrying the painted missiles on his shoulder.
My work hanging on the wall deals with Israel, with the home, and with the social issues surrounding the left and the right.
Nechama Levendel collects abandoned books and transforms them in her work.
There are books on the right-hand side of the work that are right-wing, and on the left-hand side, the books represent Israel's left.
But beyond politics and anti-war protests, the question of improvisation and its link to art is also important in Dada. Benedetta Pedone created her work Beat on the Janco-Dada Museum's wall spontaneously, using splashes of red paint.
Dada unlocked completely new pathways. The artist's decision became the most important thing. It didn't matter what he did or how he presented it.
Indeed, the notion of the absurd is important to Dadaists because it disrupts conventional ways of seeing the world.
The entire idea of Dada is to bring happiness to art and show the world through the eyes of a child.
A century later, Dadaists in Israel are still looking to play with the absurdities of modern life.
Dada upsets rationality by saying that we don't understand this world, that this world is absurd. And what we can do is play with this absurdity.
And our I-24 News journalist and editor, Maya Margit, joins me now. Maya, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Maya, it's a beautiful story that you brought us. We can see how important Dada was and still is in many ways. How has the Dada legacy survived, would you say?
Well, I think what's important to say is that it's not just an art movement. It actually changed what art is. It redefined art. The Dadaists were the first people to say that everything around us is art. They were the first people to take something off the street. For instance, Marcel Duchamp took a urinal off the street. He signed his name on it, and he said, "This is art." And also, besides the visual arts, there was influence on music. Many music historians attribute Dadaism as the main influence for the punk movement, for instance.
And Maya, of course, as we saw in your report, politics played a big role. And you know, that changes quite dramatically. Do they still focus on politics in Dada? And does it still even ruffle feathers? It's hard to do.
What's interesting is that this 100 years of Dada art is being celebrated in museums and galleries across the world. So in Zurich, which is the birthplace of Dada, they currently have a right-wing conservative government in the city. And according to many artists there, they're saying that the government is not really making a large amount of publicity for the events because they see the movement as being equating anarchism with art. And they also think it came from immigrants because the movement was actually based on Jewish immigrants, East European Jewish immigrants who moved to Zurich during the war.
And the exhibition is taking place here in Israel. Is Dada still influencing Israeli artists?
Of course it is. One of the founders of Dadaism, Marcel Janco, he's considered to be the father of modern Israeli art. And in fact, I would say that it is of huge influence because all the artists you see in this exhibition are, for the most part, living artists working today. And politics is still it still plays a big role in this movement. As you saw in the missiles artwork by Shoni Rivni, missiles are pointing directly at the viewer, and there's still a message in there for, for today.
Dada still alive and well in Israel. Maya Margit, thank you very much for bringing us the story.
Thank you.